The prefects came out mob-handed and attempted to herd the school off the playing fields into final classes. But it was the last day of summer term, and many of the pupils, the first generation to be labelled teenagers, were leaving for good. Punishment was a wilting threat. And Radio Luxembourg taught rebellion. First Bill Haley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard. Now Elvis's crown was undisputed. Dylan's descent was blowing in the wind across the Atlantic. The weedy figure of Bucknell shouted and pushed some first years. When alone, he pretended not to see trouble. Now he was chaperoned by his fellow prefects. He relished the authority handed down by the crow-black-gowned headmaster lurking in his dingy study, attempting to stop the wearing of sideboards by distorting school rules. Stan slipped me the much-handled copy of On the Road that was circulating our cabal. That's real beat music, man. He couched a woodbine, which I gave willingly as, that lunchtime, he had smuggled in the pint of India Pale Ale, which we had all shared in blasphemous communion. Look at that shit Bucknell. He deserves to be dead. Stan had read The Outsider and took Camus literally. Kids crowded the entrance to the dusty schoolyard by the sour stack of used milk bottles. Something flashed in the empty sky. It was a pint beer bottle, twisting and rising, becoming slower and slower, like that long afternoon of my first term when time was under full breaking. 2 boys had been caught shoplifting. When they returned to class badly caned, they said the headmaster wanted to see another pupil. The whisper circulated. Everyone was being forced to inform before being slashed or face expulsion. The speck of brown glass continued its flight to the sun. All through that distant lesson, small boy after small boy was called out and returned with another name and tear-streaked face and head-bowing shame. The bottle reached its apogee and fell under harsh acceleration. Stan had been one of those named. He later presented me with the moral dilemma. What would you do, Andy, if you had to choose between betraying a friend and obeying authority? The bottle fell into the crowd. Ripples of silence spread out from where it had disappeared. Someone had been hit, badly injured. The subdued crowd dispersed into the classrooms. At final assembly, Bucknell had a bandaged head. He did not look up to see the smirks. The headmaster ranted and paced the podium. He demanded that the person who threw the bottle own up, be a man, show some guts. Nothing. Next, he insisted that anyone who knew who the perpetrator was had a duty to inform. Again, nothing. Then he gently said it could be done anonymously. I looked down the line at Stan. He was quietly mouthing the notes of a Miles Davis number. In 5 years, I had not been taught much except how to pass O-levels. But I saw that we had both learnt the answer to that moral dilemma.